Ten years ago, when I started at Autodesk, I would have not ever imagined doing what I'm doing today. My name is Ramtin Attar. I'm the head of design social impact here at Autodesk Research. There's a team part of the OCTO, Office of CTO in Toronto. As you know, what Autodesk Research does, we explore, distill, and experiment with ideas that help Autodesk toward this future. We are not an industry group. We are industry agnostic. We are focusing on the different technology trends. Today, we're talking about AI. We're talking about machine learning. We're talking about ever-connected world, rapid urbanization. So we take risk on behalf of Autodesk by experimenting in those key areas. But it's not also just about prototyping. It's also driving insight. So we develop deep expertise in those areas. These are all massive topics that essentially our future customers are going to grapple with. These are the type of challenges they're going to address, and we need to be prepared for that. So my official title has always been misleading. I've always been involved in technical projects. I've also acted as a researcher. But then the nature of the projects started to change, some of which became more complicated, required connection between multiple other dots, started to require a relationship with external parties. All of a sudden, you start to have legal aspect, you start the PR aspect, you have all this negotiation that needs to happen. It becomes less about technical skills and more about connecting the dots and implementing some of the technical solution as a subset of a much grander vision. I found myself naturally in that role to steer a lot of that. I think the ultimate project for me right now is bringing the Mars project to an end. It was a massive team that came together around this project. So 2 years ago, we decided to move the Toronto office from our previous location to a new location called Mars Discovery District. What is Mars? Mars is one of the largest urban innovation centers in the world, located strategically across the street from the largest Canadian university, provincial legislature building, with $1.2 billion of research investment and funding. This is a tremendous opportunity for Autodesk to just nest itself and start to drive value from this fantastic infrastructure. How do we actually tackle and tap into all these resources if we want to do more VR, if we want to do more AI, and so forth? So with that came also a strategic opportunity for us to not look at this just as a real estate play where we're going to get a new office that is shiny and bright, but also develop our own tools and basically eat your own dog food. For the first time, we applied generative design to an office design of 60,000 square feet. So when you think about it in terms of a scale, we applied our own tools and we sort of pushed not only our own technology, but the industry forward. So as you can see, there's a lot of work still needs to be done here. It still looks pretty raw, and we have about a month and week to finish all this in time for the grand opening. So my big project is by September, make this whole thing operational, then start to tap on all those connections. So in leading to our grand opening, there's obviously so many things that needs to happen. There's sort of just the logistics of the event. We're going to have about 300 people in this room that include the Mayor of Toronto, key movers and shakers and influencers, whether they're coming from the AI or other technologies. It was a special day. Tuesday, September 19th marks the grand opening of our new office space here in Toronto. We had a few of our executives, including Jeff Kowalski and Andrew, who visited us for the grand opening.
It's been 3 years in making. The project tonight is a big celebration, fantastic talk. I love all the speakers. It was a super special moment just to see everybody on the stage and officially cut the ribbon. I'm excited about what's next. How do we continue to develop the strategic opportunities for us to actually leverage this ecosystem?
I think there are several things we can do better. I guess for my organization, the key thing now is, as the company is figuring out what next, we talk about in terms of Horizon 1, 2, 3. We would like to further define is what is that Horizon 3? What are the type of projects that we could focus on that could have major impact in the future of Autodesk, such as AI, machine learning, advanced manufacturing, things that are core strength for us. We can double down on those. That could lead to new opportunities. And then how do we take what we learn and then amplify it globally? How do we make connection between all these technology centers that we've created? How do we collaborate better within a much sort of a strategic umbrella program for Autodesk to tell a much better story about all these things that we are doing across the world?